Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Saummya and today we will be moving forward to our next question in Babbar's 450 DSA sheet, which is minimum number of jumps. So people, this is our today's question. Minimum number of jumps to reach end of an array. Let's see the question. So the question is on Geeks for Geeks platform. Okay, so let's just first try to read the question very carefully and then we will proceed to the explanation. Okay, given an array of n integers where each element represent maximum length of the jump that can be made forward from that element. Okay, this means if array of I is x, then we can jump at any distance y such that y is less than or equal to x. So we need to find the minimum number of jumps to reach the end of the array starting from the very first element, and if the element is 0, then we cannot move forward. Okay, and we need to return -1 if you can't reach the end of the array. So people, see this example. The question says that every element tells you the maximum number of jumps that can be made from that position. Okay, since this is 1, we can make only one jump, so from 1 we can only move to 3. Okay, when we are at 3, we can make maximum of 3 jumps, which means 5, 8 and 9. We can come to maximum of 9, and like this we have to move to the last element. Okay people, so let's try to get a good explanation of this question and then we will be. So people, for understanding, first let's consider this array which have 3 elements, 2, 5 and 6. Okay, when we are at 2, we can either move to 5 or 6. Okay, or let's say we are having more elements after that. So from 2 we can either move to 5 and then from 5 we can jump to the last element. Okay, or there is a possibility from 2 we can jump to 6, since this is 2, which means we are having 2 jumps, so we can jump to 5 or jump to 6 and then move forward. Or there is one more way, 2 to 5, then we can move to 5 to 6 and then from 6 to the next element. So there are multiple ways, but we need to find the minimum number of jumps required to reach the last element. Okay, so people, we can understand this like this. If we are at index I, we can move to index I plus 1, I plus 2 till the I plus a of I, which means we can see this example, like when we are at 2 and the index is 0. Okay, which means 2 plus 0, we can move to maximum of second index, which is 6. Okay, so we can also write it as f of I, where f of I is the minimum of number of steps we need to reach to the last element. Okay, so f of I is the minimum of all these, and it is the minimum number of steps needed to reach the end from the index I. Okay people, so for understanding better, let us take this example. Okay, this is an array of 10 elements where each element specifies the maximum number of jumps we can take from that element. So the very first element is 1. Okay, so the maximum people, we will be taking 3 variables. Okay, first one is the maximum reach. So from 1, how much we can go maximum. Okay, how will it will be calculated? It will be calculated with value at array of 0, which means at 0 index, plus the value of I, that is the index. So here index is 0, and so the maximum reach will be 1. Okay, when we move to the index 1, which means the next element from 1 to 3. Okay, now the value of I is 1. Okay, so the maximum reach value will be updated. It will be updated by maximum of its previous value, which is 1, and value for the present index, which means I plus a of I, which means 3 plus 1 is 4, so the maximum is 4, so maximum reach will be updated like this to 4. Okay, then we need to check one more. So our second variable is step, and step will be decreasing by 1 with every jump. Okay people, so initially when we are here, value of step is 1, and then moving forward it will decrease with 1. Okay, so people, let's move forward with a proper explanation. These are the four variables we need to consider in our complete process. First one is the index. Okay, I is the index, maximum reach, step, and the number of jumps. Okay, initially when we are starting, maximum reach value is the first element, which is 1, array of 0, and value of step is also 1. Okay, so and the jumps will also be initiated with 1. Okay, since the first element we will check if it is not 0 or negative, then the value of jump will be starting with 1. Okay, so moving forward, when we are going to next value, next index, I is equal to 1, the maximum reach will be updated by I plus a of I, or the initial value, it will be updated to the maximum 1 as we saw. So here maximum reach will be updated by 4. Okay, and steps is equal to 1 only. Steps will be updated for every steps will be decreasing by 1. So here the steps is 0 and jump is 1. And people, every time the value of step is 0, the jump variable will be getting incremented. Okay, so now the value of jump is 2. Okay, now let's move forward. For next index, which is I is equal to 2, maximum reach will be 5 plus 2, which means 5 array of 2 plus I. Okay, so it is 7. So the value of step will be updated now, since it was 0 in the previous step. So it will be updated by maximum reach value minus I. So people, when you are coming to this step, at that time the value of maximum reach was 4. Okay, so it will be updated by 4 minus I is 2, so this will be 2, and jumps will remain 2 only, because the value of step is still 2. Jumps will only be updated when the value of step is 0. Okay, moving forward, at index 3, maximum reachable value will increase to 11, and steps will be decremented by 1, and jumps will remain the same, since the value of step is not 0. Okay, and again moving to the next index, which is I is equal to 4, maximum reach will be array of 4 plus I, which is, this is 9 plus 4, which is 13, and steps will be 0 and jumps is 2. So since the value of step is 0, now jumps will be updated. Okay, then moving forward, steps value is 0, then it will be updated to value of maximum reach minus I. Okay, so maximum reach value is 13 and steps value will be 13 minus 4, which is 9. Okay people, so moving forward, this is now the value of jumps will also be updated, since the step was this, so jumps is 3. So people, I guess you are able to understand the logic what we are following till now. Let's move forward to our code. I'll be zooming this for you people. Okay, so for the very first, we will be taking some base conditions which we need to keep in mind. Like the very first thing is, if the value of n is less than or equal to 1, okay, then we will be returning 0, which means the length of array is 1, or it is an empty array, then 0 jumps will be required. Okay, then our second condition will be, if the first element of our array is equal to 0, which means if the first element is 0, then we will not be able to jump anywhere, then we will just be returning -1. Okay people, then let's start our variables which we discussed. So the step variable will be starting with the very first element, then max reach will be also the first element. Okay, and jump will be starting with 1. Okay people, if these two are not the case, then we will be having minimum of 1 jump. Okay, so that's why we are initiating the value of jump by 1. Okay, now let's just start our loop for I in range from we will be starting from the first element. Okay, since we have already considered the means the first index, as we have already considered the 0th index element. We will checking if I is equal to the last element, just return the value of jump, which means if I is at the last index, then we will be returning the present value of jump. Okay, now what is the steps? Maximum reach value will be updated at every step as maximum of its previous value, or I plus array of I. Okay people, I hope you are able to understand. And step will be decremented at every step. Okay, and if the value of step reaches 0, since it's being decremented at every step, then jump will be incremented by 1. Okay, and if we see I is greater than or equal to the max reach value, then we will be returning -1. Okay people, I hope you are able to understand this. And at last, since the value of step was 0, it will be updated by maximum reach minus the index value. Okay, so people, if anything goes wrong in this, simply return -1. Okay, so this is our code. Let's try to compile and run this. It's giving an error at line 27. Okay, let's run. Okay, we are getting the expected output, and let's try to submit. Yes, the code is working perfectly. So people, that's all for today. I hope you were able to understand the solution. If you are having any doubt in today's question, as it was a very long and very important question, please ask in the comment section. And people, if you are liking my videos, please like, subscribe and share my channel. Your support is very important for me. And that's all for today.